What's going on, Tiger fans? Westwood, 4-Star Sports Media. I hope everyone is doing well on this Monday night. We decided to come to you on a Monday evening. We got a jam-packed show. Y'all know how we do it over on the Sports Buffet. We call it a plate full. But welcome into the show. Appreciate everyone watching and listening. If you're watching right now, you see on your screen it says campus coverage. We've got a soccer ball, tennis ball, volleyball, golf ball, football on screen. But appreciate everyone watching this. We are powered by Athletic Brewing Company, Fanatics, Southwest Airlines, Sports Box Company, and CBD for life. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, or as we like to say, take off. So whether you're heading to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium to roar a Tiger win on or chasing the next adventure, Southwest Airlines has your back with their legendary low fares and no fee baggage. Imagine touching down in style, just like the Tigers touchdown. Fast, reliable, and full of heart. Book your flight today at southwest.com and let's keep the pride soaring high. This episode of the Tigers Den is powered by Southwest Airlines. Fly the friendly skies, Tiger style. So tonight we'll be talking volleyball. So that's be the first topic of the night as we talk. Two members were announced today from the American. Two members of the volleyball team were named to the American Conference's weekly honor list. The league announced on Monday afternoon. Amanda Hart took home the Offensive Player of the Week, and Maddie Bach received Freshman and Setter of the Week. Hart has now earned her second Offensive Player of the Week honor from the American, and Bach picked up her first Freshman of the Week and second Setter of the Week recognition. Memphis will now head down to the Magnolia State as they take on the Ole Miss Rebels tomorrow night, Tuesday night, as this is Monday night we're doing this, but Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. SEC Network, before continuing the SEC slide as they head to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the Crimson Classic. Well, they would take on Alabama on Thursday evening at 6:30, and then they will close with Central Florida on Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Foster Auditorium is where those games will be played. Memphis, currently 7-2, is on the road for the second time this year. Memphis volleyball, by the way, but on the road second time this year after going undefeated at the Kerry Yurdy Classic. Tigers defeated Chattanooga, Lamar, and UT Martin to keep the home streak alive with 6 wins. The two Tigers earned American Conference weekly honors, as we just talked about. Hart led the Tigers on offense with 81 kills, 88.5 points during the weekend, highlighted by a career high of 31 kills and 33 points, the most kills and points in the American and D1 in a 4-set match. Like I said, Tigers are heading down to Oxford to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. They come into the contest 4-3, coming off a sweep of Louisiana after dropping a 5-set road match at Miami. The Rebels have won 3 of the last 4 matches and are 2-0 at home this season. Outside hitter Gabby paces the offense last week as she had 28 kills and 32 points, while Shayla Meyer added 21 kills, 16 digs, and 28.5 points across 2 matches. The 66th meeting will be tomorrow night between the Tigers and the Rebels. The Tigers have faced the Rebels most recently in 2018, where they won a 3-2 road victory. Ole Miss does lead the all-time series 15-11. If you've got kids out there and you play volleyball, soccer, hockey, lacrosse, doesn't matter. Head to sportboxcompany.com/4star sports. Sportbox Co. It's a monthly subscription where you can keep your kids in the Memphis area looking good, and playing smarter. Level up with Sportbox Company. It's a custom subscription box for your kids, all the way from T-ball all the way up to high school leveled. But they keep your kid looking good and playing good all year long. We have the inside scoop, and so do they. Head now to sportboxcompany.com/4star sports as we slide over to women's soccer, as they collected two more American Athletic Weekly Awards on Monday, as McKay was named Defensive Player of the Week, while Talia Brooks garnered Freshman of the Week. The number 10 ranked Tigers are 7-0-1. They opened conference play up last Thursday evening with a win 1-0 over Charlotte. They have now won 8 weekly honors, the most in the conference through 5 weeks. Ellis Kelly has collected 3 Freshman of the Week honors, and Finley Lavin has won Defensive Player of the Week twice. Ali Kitagawa took home Offensive Player of the Week last month. They're back at home, though. They take on UAB coming up this Thursday night, 7 p.m. Going to be a very interesting matchup. We'll have more on that Wednesday night, as we'll be back with more right here in the Tigers Den. But keep an eye on that Memphis women's soccer team, number 10 in the country, continuing to climb week in, week out. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk men's side of campus as we talk men's soccer and men's football, as they've got a national broadcast coming up very, very soon. We'll be right back right here on the Tigers Den, presented to you by 4-Star Sports Media. And with that, welcome back to the Tigers Den, as we heard Mike Gundy yelling from Stillwater. But now it's time to go to the men. He's a man. We're going to the men's side of campus as we talk men's soccer as they take on North Carolina in Chapel Hill tomorrow night. Tigers men's soccer is 1-3-3, 0-1 in the American. But they travel to Chapel Hill for a final non-conference appearance or match of the season to take on North Carolina, who comes in 3-1-2. They are 0-2 in the ACC. The match is set for 6 p.m. We broadcast it on the ACC Network Extra. When you look at Memphis, they look to get a positive result after going winless in its last 4 matches, dropping its conference opening match 1-0 to FIU this past Friday night. The Tigers have failed to find the back of the net in the last 247 minutes of play, and obviously that is key number 1 for the Tigers. Got to get points on the board. Can't win if you don't score. Reigning American Conference Goalkeeper of the Year, Philip Sabati, has started 5 of Memphis' 6 matches, logging 18 saves and 1 clean sheet. Most recently, against Jacksonville, the redshirt junior Jacob Burkle made his first start in net for Memphis, recording a clean sheet with 2 saves in the draw against the Dolphins. When you look at the Tar Heels, they enter the non-conference match after drawing against number 5, NC State, and number 4, Wake Forest, in the Tar Heels' first matches of the Atlantic Coast Conference slate. Tar Heels were ranked number 21 in the United Soccer Coaches poll last week. They were led by graduate transfer Nacho Abil, the former SIU Cougar, or SIUE Cougar, sorry, has 2 goals, 3 assists on the season. Both marks lead the team. True freshman Ryan Dugan has come off the bench in every match thus far for the Tar Heels, but has found the back of the net twice. The pairing of these two, as well as others, have 2 assists and over 500 minutes this season, also scoring in North Carolina's last win against Evansville. The series, when it comes to North Carolina, is this will be just the second matchup ever between North Carolina and Memphis, the first regular season contest between these two programs. During the 2023 season, the Tigers reached the second round of the NCAA tournament after they defeated SIUE at home, but then they turned around and fell to North Carolina in Chapel Hill by a score of 2-0. North Carolina does not return any players involved in the 2 goals in that match, but Cortez and Czech both started for the Tar Heels in that contest. Should be very, very interesting. That's a really good matchup. I think Memphis should compete well with North Carolina. Up next, we're going to get into Tiger football. We've got the Tigers Den game day up on the screen. It's Arkansas week as the Hogs come to town, 11 a.m. kickoff. We head over to 4star.live. Now we've got a couple of different articles out on the game. This is a big game for both teams, both Arkansas and Memphis. For Arkansas, they're coming off a loss at Ole Miss, 41-35. Number 17, Ole Miss. They came off a loss last week. Incredible back and forth football game. Really came down to a fumble at the end of the game for Arkansas. They're 2-1 on the season, 0-1 in the SEC play. Sam Pittman is in his 6th season as head coach, 32-32 as a head coach. We're going to get into a 3 and out, but I want to talk about Arkansas from a broader perspective. When you look at them from a stat perspective, they score 47.7 points a game, 245 yards comes on the ground for this team a game, 324 through the air. That is a total of 569 yards a game for Arkansas. Offensively, when you look at this team, it starts and stops. No question, starts and stops with Taylor Green. It's a quarterback. We're going to talk about him more tonight. We'll talk about him more Wednesday. We'll talk about him even more in articles. Starts and stops with him. If you can keep pressure on him, and I will say this, in the Arkansas game, if you look at him the last 4 drives of the game, and I've gone back and watched that game extensively, he's holding his hamstring on the last 4 drives. He's done something. I didn't hear Pittman. We heard from Pittman today. I've got some audio from Pittman as well that we're going to play. But Arkansas has only had 18 penalties on the year, 162 yards. Third down conversion, 72%, 23 of 32 on the season. By the way, shout out Tyler Harrison. Thank you for watching, Tyler. Thanks for the message. Appreciate everyone watching and listening tonight, by the way. Red zone scores for Arkansas. They are a perfect 13 of 13. Also, stay tuned because Hogs Happy Hour is going to get into this game as well. We got this game covered from a Memphis perspective, Arkansas perspective, as well as a national perspective as well, as we got Conference Crunch coming up later this week too. We look at on the Memphis side of things for stat-wise. 37 points a game for the Tigers, 218 coming of that on the ground, 202 passing through the air. That comes out to a total of 421 on offense per game. Time of possession, 31 minutes, 45 seconds on average for Memphis. Penalties for the Tigers, 17 on the year for 165. Third down conversions, 16 of 34 for 47%. Fourth down conversions, 3 for 4 75% on the year. Red zone scores, Memphis is also 10 for 10 or 100%. This game is going to come down to many things. I talked about Taylor Green, and he's leading the team right now, 866 yards passing. He's 63 of 92, 11 touchdowns to 2 interceptions on the year. He's also leading the team rushing, 32 attempts on the year for 307 for 2 touchdowns, 9.6 yards per rush. Taylor Green runs like a gazelle. He runs very smooth. He has long strides, and he can leave you. Memphis fans have, if they think back, they remember him because he was there. He played for Boise State just a few years back. You Memphis fans may remember how tight that game was. That game really came down to a blocked field goal that was returned for a touchdown. But when you look at Arkansas and you look at how this team has played this year, Mike Washington Jr. is right behind Taylor Green, 260 yards, 31 attempts, 8.4 yards on the per rush, 3 touchdowns. Braylon Russell, another big, powerful back, 25 rushes on the year, 103, 4.1 yards a rush, 2 touchdowns. Braylon Russell's over 260 pounds, 230 pounds. It's a massive running back, and he's a guy that you really have to pay attention to. When you look at it on the outside of things, when you look at Arkansas, one of the big questions for the team coming into this year was who is going to be their main guy, who is going to be their go-to guy at receiver. You lose essentially everyone at receiver, but you bring in Omega Blake from Charlotte. You've got Jalen Brown. You've got C.J. Brown, Raylan Sharp. Omega Blake's the guy. Omega Blake, 18 catches on the year, 266, an average of 14.8 per catch, 3 touchdowns on the year. When you look for the question of who is Taylor Green's guy, who's his go-to guy, it's definitely Omega Brown. Now, I will say this. Jalen Brown is quickly becoming a very strong number 2 for this team. Defensively, this Arkansas team is very good. Their linebackers are very deep. And like I said, we're going to get more into them as we go. When you look at the stats on the Memphis side of things, it's a little bit different than what we might typically see from a Memphis team the last 3-4 years. Sutton Smith leads the team right now, 41 rushes on the year, 247 on the ground. That's an average of 6 per rush, 4 touchdowns so far on the season. Brandon Lewis, quarterback, 32 rushes on the year, 195.9 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns on the year. Passing-wise, this is where I say it's a little bit different. If you read an article recently at 4star.live, we talked about what we learned. And what we learned is there's change, but change is good. But Brendan Lewis comes in 55 of 75 on the year, 608, 2 touchdowns to 1 interception. That's where the difference is. We're in week 4. I mean, I had to go back and look the numbers, but we're in week 4. When's the last time you've seen a quarterback from Memphis only have 2 passing touchdowns entering week 4? It's been a while. I talked about it last week. If you think back, Brendan Lewis is probably going to be the most athletic quarterback Memphis has seen since Riley Ferguson. With that, I talked about how he brings a different element to this offense because he makes a defensive coordinator, or in Arkansas's case, defensive coordinators, because they have 2, he makes them have to prepare for dual threat. This Arkansas roster features 58 newcomers, 31 four-year transfers who came to Arkansas via the portal. They returned 12 offensive players, 17 defensive, 2 special teams, 10 starters for last year, 4 offensive, 4 defensive, 2 specialists. Since 1995, Arkansas is a perfect 6-0 in games played in Memphis, including the most recent win in Memphis in 1998. In the Sam Pittman era, the Hogs are 2-0. Both games were in the Liberty Bowl 2022 and 2024. Let's get to the 3 and out. These are just three things that stand out to us right now. This is day one of Arkansas week. But three and out, first thing stands out is Taylor Green. He's back. Memphis has seen him before, but I'll say this. If you are going to defend, and we're going to hear from Sam Pittman in just a minute talking about how he's going to defend or his thoughts on Memphis. But if you were going to defend this Arkansas team, Arkansas has recorded under Bobby Petrino as offensive coordinator. They recorded 246 plays of 10 or more yards from scrimmage. It ranks first in the SEC and third nationally during the 2024 campaign. The Razorbacks, 246 yards, plays of 10 or more yards, includes 154 passing plays of 10 or more, 92 rushing plays of 10 or more. For comparison, Arkansas totaled just 168 plays of 10 or more yards, which included 90 across 12 games in 2023. So there's an explosiveness here under Petrino, and it's been a real focal point of this offense. Through 3 games in 2025, the Arkansas ranks first nationally in plays of 10 yards or more from scrimmage with 66 total plays, 42 passes, 24 rushes. So the first thing that stands out to us is explosive offense and Taylor Green. Now, Memphis has seen Taylor Green before. Another difference is when Memphis saw Taylor Green before, Jordan Hankins was not the defensive coordinator. Now, Taylor Green returns, he's just in new colors. Memphis has seen him. It's a different offensive coordinator calling the plays. If you're, that's number one. This is number two. If you're Memphis and you want to stop Arkansas, in order to combat that speed, you've got to be too sound in two ways. You've got to be sound tackling, and you have to be sound defensively. You can't get beat deep. You have to understand your assignment. You have to know where guys are. You have to key these guys out, point these guys out. Find Omega Blake. Find Mike Washington. Find Taylor Green. They move him. They do some direct snaps. They do some different things under Bobby Petrino. We know about how schematically strong Bobby has always been. You look at the Memphis defense, this Memphis defense is really good. Really good. You can go back and look and see what they did against Troy. They had, up until the last drive, Memphis had only given up 40-something yards, 48 yards in the entire game. You can go back and look the week prior and look at what Troy did against Clemson. Speaking of that, here's what Sam Pittman had to say today in his press conference about the upcoming game with the Tigers.
Coached, good football team, exotic defensively, 3-3-5, but yet do a lot of movement, a lot of different blitz patterns. Very confusing defensively. We have to continue to watch more and more film on them because they play a little bit different each and every week depending on formations and whom they're playing. Offensively, they run the read zone as good as anybody, and the quarterback is a good runner, good thrower. They've got a really good tailback, more than one, but a really good tailback. And then they went into the portal or went recruiting, got a couple of good wideouts from Hutch JUCO. Good offensive line. That's they're in this world. They're revamped as well. They have two guys starting for them from last year offensively, and one a really good defensive end in Whitlow. On defense, kicking game's really good. Got a good kicker. He's made a 55-yarder, I believe, this year already. So going over there will be an exciting opportunity. Hopefully we'll have a lot of Arkansas people over there to watch the game. So that'll be about.
So that's what Pittman had to say about Memphis. You heard him there. He talked about the challenges that Memphis is going to present. And one of those challenges is Brennan Lewis, and we talked about that. Now, you talk about defensively, Memphis is going to have to pursue well. They're going to have to take really good angles. They're going to have to tackle well because Arkansas is fast. The third of the the three and out that we're talking about tonight, basically three early keys, is Memphis needs to play free and fast. Now, we know this because we cover the Tigers. We have people at practice, but the Tigers practice early in the mornings, and then they'll also practice a lot in the afternoons as well. So when the Tigers practice, most of the time, Memphis is up very early. They mentioned it on the recent game against Troy. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. That 11 a.m. kickoff is not going to affect Memphis because they're up at that point in time. And I'm not saying Arkansas doesn't. I'm just saying that's something that you have to look at. Plus, Memphis is at home, so it's a normal average game for them. I think Memphis needs to play free and play fast. Arkansas defensively is very aggressive. They bring a lot of exotic blitzes. They play fast. You've got to be able to play fast and use that to your advantage. Plus, you have to play within control of the offense. And that's what really is key number three is let Brendan Lewis continue to do what we've seen through three games so far. And as you've heard, I mean, we've talked about it openly for quite some time. We talked about it since the day he was brought in. You're not going to see the total offense for the first few games, but this is the game that I think you see the playbook open up a little more, or you see maybe a little more wrinkles to the playbook from Tim Cramsey. You look at Tim Cramsey, we've talked about the continuity on campus, the continuity of on staff for this Memphis team. You look across the country, you look at this Memphis program, it's been a very long time since you've seen a head coach maintain essentially all, but main coordinators for sure, just retain them for continuous seasons. I think when you look at the job Ryan Silverfield's done, a lot of people may crap on him. A lot of people may find ways to diss him. Yes, he has not won a conference championship. I understand that. But when you look at the way Ryan Silverfield has maneuvered the waters of the NIL, of the transfer portal, you look at the recruiting that he's doing, he may not have won a conference championship yet, but he's bringing in the top talent this program's ever seen in its entirety. No one has ever brought in the type of recruiting classes that Ryan Silverfield has. Secondly, no one has ever won bowl games like Ryan Silverfield has. In order for Memphis to make a big bowl game, this is a big game. This is the game that's circled on the schedule. Non-conference, this is it. 11 a.m. ABC national broadcast. You couldn't ask for anything more. Go play free, fast, but play in control offensively and run your offense. Speaking of offense, this is what Pittman had to say today about what the Tigers do and what they do well.
They're really good at inside zone and really good at inside zone read. I mean, really good at it. To win, to beat Memphis, defensively, you've got to eliminate that, and they're good at it, so it's hard to do.
You've got to eliminate that, and they're good at it, so it's hard to do. He's right. At the end of the day, he's right. Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. We posted about it when we broke the news on ABC picking the game up. We, in the caption, said this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, of course, for those of you that know me personally, you know this is a house divided for me. Of course, I'm a diehard Memphis Tiger fan, born and raised there. My wife, born and raised Arkansas, two-time Arkansas alum. So it's a house divided. Now, with me saying that, if y'all paid attention to any coverage today on our Facebook page, you noticed that we were out at the LPGA. It's the Walmart NW Arkansas Championship. It takes place out here every year, and it's at the Pinnacle Golf Club. Beautiful golf course. That's where that's where I will be Saturday and Sunday. So while the game is taking place, I'll be out covering a live event, or I'll be out doing a live event and getting live coverage of the LPGA tournament. So while I'm out there, I am going to stop and do a couple of little live shots from out there at the game. But This is an important game, as I said at the onset of this show, or this segment. This is an important game for both programs. For Arkansas, you're coming off a loss at Ole Miss, back-to-back road games. Really not really the easiest of road games. You go play an emotional game against Ole Miss, a team that, in my opinion, is Arkansas's biggest rival. Yes, I said that. Outside of, I think, above LSU. The Arkansas Ole Miss series has been much more of a rivalry than the Arkansas LSU has. But tough game on the road. You lose. Emotional. First loss of the year. Now you got to turn around and get ready for a tough road trip. It's 367 miles from campus to campus. That 300 miles, there's a lot of history there. We talked about it. They haven't played that many times. But when you look at these two states, when you look at the recruiting battles that's taking place, when you look at the players that have come from both areas, Arkansas is always coming to Memphis to recruit. Memphis is a hotbed for football talent, as is the state of Arkansas. This game has bigger ties than just what takes place within 4 quarters, especially with how the NIL is, the way transfer portal is, now with the one portal window, that's going to change some things. But Saturday, 11 o'clock ABC, I asked this question in the article that we have at 4star.live. I'll ask the and I'm going to ask it again. Will Memphis fans show up? I can promise you Arkansas fans will be there. And I can tell you that a lot of the mindset is it's going to be a road game inside Memphis's home stadium for them. There's only one way to negate that, and that's to show up. You got to show up. You got to be out there. You got to be loud. This is a massive game for Memphis. You win this football game, it changes the trajectory of your season. Think back. Last 3, they're calling them the A4 now, but the Power 4, whatever. Memphis is 3-0 in their last 3 games. All 3 of those wins have come in bowl games. That's a stat that nobody's really thinking about. Memphis plays, 24-5 in their last 29 football games. They play really well at home. Things are lining up for Memphis, but they've got to go play ball. They've got to go win the game. And the game is not easy. We'll get into more of what challenges Arkansas brings to Memphis. We're going to get into more of that in written form. But head over to 4star.live now. We got more articles, content, and more. We're going to have more this week. Get ready. Hogs Happy Hour on the Arkansas side of things is going to cover the game from their perspective, from their analysis as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what coverage they bring. But appreciate everyone watching tonight. It's been a fun one as always, but jam-packed show powered by Southwest Airlines. If you're looking to get to games, concerts, whatever, if you're looking to travel and you need to fly, head over to southwestairlines.com for more information. They have incredible rates. Fees are good too. Baggage, no, they don't even charge you for bags. Head over there now, though. But for all of y'all watching, thank you very much. For all of you listening, we appreciate it. Saturday morning, I should say, big time football game taking place in the 901 Memphis and Arkansas, 11 a.m. kickoff. We'll have more, but for all of us here at 4 Star Sports Media, I am Wes Pruitt. Thank you for watching, and go Tigers.